What if everything we thought we knew about rookie quarterbacks was about to be completely shattered by a left-handed gunslinger who's been quietly preparing to take the NFL by storm? The Atlanta Falcons might just have struck gold with Michael Penix Jr., and the latest reports coming out of their training camp are sending shockwaves through the football world that could redefine what we expect from first-year signal callers. Albert Breer's recent visit to Falcons camp has produced some absolutely electrifying insights about Penix that should have every NFL fan sitting up and taking notice. The level of confidence radiating from a young quarterback, combined with comparisons to established stars, suggests Atlanta may have found something truly special in their surprising draft pick. But before we dive deep into what makes the story so compelling, let's address the elephant in the room that's got Falcons fans both excited and nervous. When NFL insiders start throwing around comparisons to Matthew Stafford, you know something significant is brewing. Breer's observations about Penix's confidence level and the way Rams-connected coaches on Atlanta's staff are talking about him paint a picture of a quarterback who might be ready to contribute much sooner than anyone anticipated. The Stafford comparison isn't just casual observer speculation. It's coming from coaches who understand what elite quarterback play looks like at the highest level. Raheem Morris and his staff, with their connections to Sean McVay's system in Los Angeles, are seeing something in Penix that mirrors what made Stafford so successful after his move from Detroit to the Rams. The way Penix spins the ball, processes information, and sees the field has these experienced coaches drawing parallels to a quarterback who helped deliver a Super Bowl championship. What makes this comparison particularly intriguing is that it's not just about raw arm talent, though Penix certainly possesses that in abundance. It's about the mental aspects of the game that often separate good quarterbacks from great ones. The ability to quickly process complex defensive schemes, make split-second decisions under pressure, and maintain composure in crucial moments are all qualities that define Stafford's game, and apparently they're seeing similar traits in their rookie. However, there are some notable differences that make Penix's development path potentially even more interesting. As a left-handed quarterback, he brings a unique element that defenses don't face regularly, which could provide tactical advantages that right-handed quarterbacks simply don't possess. The mirror image that left-handed quarterbacks present can disrupt defensive timing and create opportunities that might not exist otherwise. The scouting report on Penix reveals a quarterback who combines several elite traits that suggest he could develop into something special. His anticipation and timing stand out immediately when watching game film, demonstrating an understanding of route concepts and defensive leverage that typically takes years to develop. The way he processes information after reaching the top of his drop, that 1-2-3 rhythm that allows him to get the ball out quickly, suggests an internal clock that's already well calibrated for NFL speed. His ball placement has been particularly impressive, especially in his work with receivers like Drake London. The ability to put the ball in locations where only his receiver can make the play, while keeping it away from defenders, represents advanced quarterback skills that can't be taught easily. This isn't just about accuracy in terms of hitting targets, it's about understanding leverage, timing, and how to use ball placement as a weapon against defensive schemes. Perhaps most impressively, Penix has shown masterful pocket awareness that allows him to maximize protection schemes without having to rely heavily on mobility outside the pocket. His ability to slide within the pocket, moving up, left, or right to avoid pressure while keeping his eyes downfield, mirrors what made quarterbacks like Russell Wilson so effective during their prime years. This skill set is particularly valuable in today's NFL, where pass rushers are more athletic and sophisticated than ever before. The combination of these traits suggests that Penix isn't just another developmental prospect who might contribute someday. He's showing signs of being a quarterback who could step in and be effective relatively quickly, which would be a massive development for a Falcons organization looking to maximize their current competitive window. While the quarterback news provides reason for optimism, the mounting injury concerns around the Falcons roster are creating a different kind of tension. The recent injury to Caleb McGarry, who was carted off the practice field, highlights a troubling pattern that's been developing throughout training camp. when your starting right tackle goes down and the coaching staff was just praising offensive line depth, it raises serious questions about the team's ability to protect whoever ends up under center. The injury list continues to grow, with key players like Darnell Mooney, Clark Phillips, and Troy Anderson all dealing with various ailments that could impact their availability for the season opener. Troy Anderson's situation is particularly concerning given his injury history and the vague updates coming from the coaching staff. Raheem Morris's non-committal responses about Anderson's status for Week 1 suggest the linebacker's availability is genuinely in doubt. What makes these injuries particularly problematic is their timing and the positions affected. Offensive line depth was already a concern before McGary's injury, and losing a starting caliber player could force the team to rely on backups who haven't shown they're ready for prime time. The secondary injuries are equally troubling, given that the defense needs to show significant improvement from last season's disappointing performance. The injury bug seems to have taken residence in Falcons camp, and the concern level should be rising for fans who were hoping this would be the year everything finally came together. When you're dealing with this many health issues before the season even begins, it often indicates that more problems are coming down the pipeline. The changes being implemented on the defensive side of the ball represent a fascinating subplot to Atlanta's season. The decision to move A.J. Terrell into more zone coverage situations, rather than having him shadow opposing number 1 receivers in man coverage every week, suggests a philosophical shift that could have major implications for the entire defensive scheme. This adjustment isn't just about protecting Terrell from the weekly grind of elite receiver matchups. It's about creating a more balanced defensive approach that doesn't rely so heavily on one player's ability to eliminate threats. By incorporating more zone concepts and rotating coverage responsibilities, the Falcons are betting that they can create a more sustainable defensive system that doesn't break down when one player has an off day. The implications for players like D'Angelo Alfred are significant. The praise being heaped on Billy Bowman, combined with Natron Brooks getting work in the slot, sends a clear message that job security is earned, not given. The coaching staff's patience appears to be wearing thin with underperforming players, and the message is clear. Improvement is expected, not hoped for. This increased accountability represents a maturation of the organization's approach to building a competitive roster. Rather than accepting mediocre performance because of potential or draft position, they're demanding that players earn their roles through performance. It's a mindset shift that often precedes significant team improvement. The most intriguing aspect of the Penix situation is how it affects Atlanta's championship timeline. If the rookie can indeed step in and provide quality quarterback play, it dramatically accelerates the franchise's competitive window. Instead of waiting for a veteran quarterback to regain form or hoping that experience will eventually translate to success, they could have their franchise quarterback already on the roster. The supporting cast around Penix is arguably as strong as any rookie quarterback has inherited in recent memory. Drake London is developing into a legitimate number 1 receiver. The running game provides balance and takes pressure off the passing attack, and the defense has enough talent to be competitive if it can stay healthy and show improvement from last season's struggles. However, the injury concerns create a significant variable that could derail even the best-laid plans. If key players continue to go down, even the most talented quarterback will struggle to overcome roster deficiencies. The Falcons need their injury situation to stabilize quickly if they want to maximize what appears to be a legitimate opportunity to compete in the NFC South. The Michael Penix Jr. story represents exactly the type of development that can transform a franchise's trajectory overnight. The combination of his apparent readiness to contribute, the supporting cast around him, and the coaching staff's confidence in his abilities creates a perfect storm for potential success that few rookies ever experience. The Matthew Stafford comparisons aren't just flattering hyperbole. They represent genuine observations from coaches who understand what elite quarterback play looks like. If Penix can indeed provide that level of performance, even in a scaled-back version during his rookie season, it changes everything about Atlanta's immediate and long-term prospects. The injury concerns remain a legitimate threat to these optimistic projections, but they shouldn't overshadow what appears to be a genuine breakthrough in the quarterback room. The Falcons may have found their franchise quarterback earlier than anyone expected, and the ripple effects of that discovery could define the next decade of football in Atlanta. The question isn't whether Penix has talent. That much seems clear from all reports. The question is whether the team around him can stay healthy enough to give him the support he needs to succeed immediately. If they can, we might be witnessing the early stages of something truly special in Atlanta. So, what's your prediction for Penix's rookie season? Are we looking at 22 touchdowns, 29 touchdowns, or something completely different? The anticipation is building, and your take on whether this rookie can live up to the Stafford comparisons could be the perspective we all need to hear. Jump into the comments, and let's debate whether Atlanta has found their franchise quarterback or if we're all getting caught up in preseason optimism that won't survive the regular season reality.